Oh, yes. We've got the Mandalorian playing cards here wrapped in bubble wrap. I'll go ahead and take them off the bubble wrap. But yeah, here we are. The Mandalorian playing cards, pre-ordered first look. These are amazing. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josiah and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my deck collection, my playing card collection, because I really have an obsession with playing cards and showing off my collection for some reason. But I really honestly want to take a break from all the week after week, tutorial that I've been doing since the channel started, which I'm not opposed to tutorials. And in any way, obviously I make them and I enjoy making them, but I wanted to take a quick break from that for this video. So in this video, first off I'm going to be showing you all my playing cards, my playing card collection. Then I'm also going to be doing an unboxing, my first unboxing and review of the Mandalorian playing cards. And yeah, so that's basically it. I'm going to be doing the unboxing and review of the actual cards, which I haven't opened them yet. Or looked at them, or looked at any reviews of them at the end. I'll be doing that, and I'll also be comparing it to some previous Star Wars playing cards that I already own. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. This video is brought to you by the Card Magic Academy Video Library. It is a free library available on the Card Magic Academy website that will allow you to access all of the videos on my channel separated into different sections. You can access a video by clicking on the thumbnail for that video, and once there, you can play the video, and you can also look at the description box beneath the video to see what the video is about and get access to things like the deck of cards I'm using, what this video is based on, and such. You can access this free video library by going to bit.ly/CMA Magic site. Alright, so here we are at the bucket, I guess. It's a drawer that I keep all of my cards that I use my card collection in. One thing to note is that any purposely gimmicked decks or whatever, like the Invisible deck or the 1x4 deck or anything like that, those are all in my Magic collection drawer, which is a complete mess right now. And an idea I had for a video that I may or may not do, I'm still debating on it, but maybe eventually. This sounds like an idea because my Magic collection drawer just so happens to be so messy. I decided maybe it would be a good idea to do a Magic collection video where I sorted everything out and reorganized it, cleaning up the mess, but at the same time kind of showing off my Magic collection. I thought maybe that would be a cool idea for a video. But let's go ahead and take a look here. So let's start with this first row up here of playing cards. Over here on it's your left, my right, we have the very first actually playing cards I ever owned, the classic games playing cards. These are the first deck of cards I really owned, in addition to another one. This is the original one. It's really dirty. I'm going to show you, and it fell out, but I'll be showing you the other two I have here. So I have the red one here, and these ones are the same thing. They're just jumbo, and I found these actually at Dollar Tree, and they're not super bad playing cards. Definitely would be my Magic deck of choice, but I felt like when I saw this at Dollar Tree, at Dollar Tree things are only $1, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get these because these are literally the exact same playing cards, and I guess I'll just use them if I ever want to, but mainly just for the memory of it. Because this deck is so old, I decided to get another version. So this is the red ones. And then these here are the blue ones, which I actually like the blue ones better than the red ones. And you can tell because the blue ones have actually, you can see from the sides, the blue ones have been used quite a bit more than the red ones. And also there are a few cards that have been torn just a tiny bit here accidentally, which is really the only one thing I don't really like about this deck, because the finish isn't too bad. It is a gloss finish. It handles okay, but the cards do tear pretty easily if you're not careful. They're really thin, flimsy cards. So that's the only thing I got to be careful of with this deck. Yeah, that's pretty much it for these cards. I don't have much to say about these. Mainly these are just keepsake cards. I really just to remember what it was like when I first got into Magic, because when I first got into Magic, like when I was first just doing magic tricks for my little brother's little like kid magic book, these were the cards I used for that. Those ones I'm saying. So yeah, let me put these away and we'll get to the next deck. Alright, moving on to the next deck of cards I have. This is another keepsake deck. It was the other first deck I had. This is what I call the Josiah deck. It is a custom deck of playing cards that was made for me a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but several years ago, before I got into Magic, by a relative of mine. And it stayed in okay shape. They're kind of dirty, but considering that I used all my earliest cards practicing on the floor, these are in pretty good shape. I'm pretty surprised at how in good shape they are. They're a little bit clumpy, but they're not bad. Honestly, it's not the deck. I honestly don't use this deck at all anymore. Mainly it's like that one, another keepsake deck, because this holds a lot of memories for me of my first Magic tricks. I think these are the first cards I used to do tricks with after I started learning Magic from YouTube. So really kind of cool deck of cards. I'll leave a link on the website. I left a link. I showed this deck of cards, but I left a link to where you can make your own playing cards from another website that actually can give you like a bicycle quality finish. Definitely, I don't think it's definitely not the same place that these cards came from, but it is kind of a cool place if you're interested in getting your own custom deck of playing cards made just for you. Alright, just moving forward, we have our next two deck of cards. We have the Vegas playing cards by, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I think I put it in my video where I used these cards was my 4 Aces video. And in that video, I think I put it in that video where they came from, but I don't remember what it said. So we'll just go with I have no idea where they came from for now. But I really like these cards. The finishing is kind of weird because it's kind of like a bicycle finish and a gloss finish mixed. I don't really like it that much. The faces are decent. Definitely, I feel like we could do better. These cards could be better with their faces that they use for the cards. But the back design I really love about these cards. My brother's got these for me for my birthday. And I really honestly love this borderless back design. Like, if I could find playing cards with this borderless back design that had some, maybe better looking faces and better quality finish, they would honestly be one of my favorite decks of cards. Like, this is probably my favorite borderless design I've ever seen because it's kind of like that classic B design on those borderless B cards, but it has that V, and I think it's just a nice look in a deck of cards. I really like it. So I have the red ones here, which you never saw the red ones in the 4 Aces video, so that would be the first time I've shown those on the channel. And then I also have these blue ones here, which you did see in the 4 Aces video. And these ones, I'm not sure if I like the red ones or the blue ones better. I think I kind of like them equally, but I also like the blue ones a lot as well. So just same faces and everything, just a blue back design rather than the red one. Alright, moving on, once again, we have the green Riderback playing cards. You can tell it's kind of a beat-up deck. This is probably the deck that holds the most memories for me because I remember Easter, and Easter was shortly after the time I started getting into Magic. I remember wanting an invisible deck and a green bicycle deck. I remember I just discovered the 52 cards Magic channel and shop, and I thought, I want these decks. These are the decks I really want. And so I ended up getting both of them for Easter. for my parents because we do gifts at Easter. But you can tell from the sides, this is probably the deck that is the most banged up, beat up out of all my playing cards. You can see here, it has all this, it's so dirty on the sides. But it holds a lot of memories for me, so I won't throw it away or turn it into gimmicks or anything. Just because of all the memory it holds for me. I think I still have some gimmicks in here. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Yeah, I have. Let's see, this came with I think it came with a blank card. I'm not sure where that blank card is currently, but I do know I have one of the gimmicks it came with, which is this green and pink. I don't think that's what a regular bicycle rider back comes with, but the one that my parents got for me apparently came with that stuff. So this deck holds a lot of memories for me, and I would definitely recommend picking one up, and I knew it would definitely be a really cool deck to have. Alright, moving on, we have another memory deck. We have the S'more Camping playing cards. These are kind of funny cards. The only problem with it is that it's difficult, very difficult to get these out of their top case, but there we go. So these are kind of cool because it's literally just marshmallows and it says S'more Camping, and then it has a graham cracker with a bite out of it up here. It's just a cool deck, and I don't have a problem with one-way back designs. I used to, but now I really don't have a problem with a one-way back design. I don't have too much of a problem with that. I prefer two-way back designs, but this is a one-way back design that I don't really care about so much. And it's pretty cool. The faces they're basically, for the most part, they're standard bicycle faces with a little bit of a different touch on them. Ace of Spades is pretty cool. It's this bear and things, but these were sold at a camping trip I went on last year. I went on a camping trip to a place called Yogi Bear Park. There are a whole bunch of them everywhere. I would definitely recommend it as a cool place to go if you want to go camping. So the S'more Camping playing cards I got at this camping trip because they were being sold, kind of to help promote and battle against, wildlife, hunting and whatnot. Just to help save bears, I think it was. I don't exactly remember. If I could find the ad card is somewhere in my magic collection drawer. If I find that, I might, in my magic collection video that I may or may not do soon, I might tell you what the S'more Camping deck was promoting. But it's pretty cool, and I brought playing cards because I wanted to perform for my family over the camping trip. And what I ended up doing was I ended up performing mostly with this deck the entire time because it's just a pretty cool deck of cards. Alright, so moving on to the next deck of cards. After washing my hands real quick because all those decks were kind of the more dirty decks, now we're getting into a lot of the cleaner, actually all of the cleaner playing cards that I have, and I don't want to ruin the cleanliness of those. So, by the way, if you are working with playing cards, make sure to wash your hands before you use your playing cards to help them last longer and not get so dirty. But anyway, we have these now Coca-Cola playing cards. Now, there are a lot of different Coca-Cola decks of cards out there, but this is the only one that's actually quality because this is actually printed by the USPCC. So it does have an air cushion finish, and it's pretty cool. It's these... You can see here it has this Coca-Cola design on it, but these are printed by the USPCC, so they have an air cushion finish. I think they use just regular bicycle stock, but it is a pretty cool deck that I did some magic with when I got it for Christmas. And then the face design is kind of interesting. The faces, the jokers, they call them wild cards because the jokers are sometimes called wild cards. They're just this Coca-Cola thing here. And then all the faces are just like Coca-Cola bottles. There's one there, the King of Spades, the King of Hearts, King of Clubs. Why are there so many kings in one spot? King of Diamonds. One of my favorite cards is the King of Diamonds. We have the Queen of Hearts, the Jack of Hearts, the Queen of Diamonds. That's actually two Coca-Cola bottles. But you can see here it's pretty cool. And the Ace of Spades is it's a pretty simplistic Ace of Spades. It's just an ace with a spade in the center, which I've seen that on a couple decks of cards, and it's not a bad idea. It's definitely just a simplistic idea, and I think in certain scenarios it works well, and I think in this scenario it did work pretty well with this deck, so I honestly like this deck a lot. It's just kind of fun to do stuff with this deck of Coca-Cola playing cards. It is a borderless one-way back design, which I'm not a huge fan of borderless one-way back designs, but it's not a big sacrifice. So yeah, those are the Coca-Cola playing cards. Alright, moving on, we have the first Star Wars deck of cards. Not the Star Wars deck of my choice, but the Star Wars Darth Vader playing cards. Fun fact, this box was actually falling apart. I just got it, and it was in my magic drawer, and this side started falling apart. So this is actually taped there. But anyway, these are probably, I wouldn't ever really, it's not that I dislike this deck. I definitely like it because I'm a Star Wars fan. But definitely it's not the most unique Star Wars deck. I definitely like these Star Wars decks here a lot better from 311. But it's just this Darth Vader Star Wars deck. So it has all these faces here, and they're all scenes from the Star Wars movies with Darth Vader on them. So they're all scenes involving Darth Vader from the movie. And looking at this, I realized just how much Star Wars I've watched because I can literally recognize which scene every single one of these images is from. So it's pretty sad, but it's pretty cool. Just kind of like as a collectible item. I definitely think as a Star Wars fan, if I had to recommend a Star Wars deck for you to buy, I would recommend the Star Wars playing cards from 311. But if you are looking just for something quick, this is probably cheaper than those, I'm not sure, because I got it for Christmas. But definitely also kind of a cool thing to have as well. I'm guessing there's probably like a Luke Skywalker and whatever other Star Wars deck, but this is the Star Wars Darth Vader playing cards. Alright, moving on to the next two decks. The first, well, not the first, but these are Five Below playing cards. I got these Five Below. Yeah, I think that's what the store is called. For some reason that doesn't sound right, but it is Five Below. So I have these playing cards here. These are called the Prisma Rainbow playing cards, and they're pretty crappy, I'm going to be honest. They are gloss finish. I definitely wouldn't really ever perform with either of these, but, you know, just to show you what I have in my collection, I did get these. I'm not sure why, mostly just because if they're playing cards that I've never seen before and they're out of store, I just can't resist trying to pick them up. So the back design of these first ones isn't really bad. If the faces on this particular deck were better, I might perform with it more, because this is honestly a pretty cool back design. This is a pretty cool borderless back design here. It looks like this, but the unfortunate part about the faces is that they're really colorful, and I don't like that at all. Also, you know, Ace of Spades is just a spade, two clubs, and then the Queen of Hearts, it's a heart with a Q in it. They're just not creative designs at all. Very creative at all, I don't think. The only thing creative about it is that they did make them colorful, and even that, I don't really like all the color that much. I like traditional just faces with the same design. Not like the same design, I mean like not colors, like just white, or like in this deck you have the Stargazer cards that I'll look at in a second. They have, you'll see, they have like just a space design. So like the faces have the same thing in the back. I don't like having a different color in kind of like the background of each deck of cards, and I wish the faces were better too. But overall, I wouldn't ever really perform with it. If the faces were better, I would like this deck because I really like this back design. But maybe if the faces were better, you know. But then again, it was only a few dollars, so what can I say? Alright, the next, obviously, deck that is the black version of these Prisma Rainbow playing cards. And they look nothing like their counterparts. The only thing is that the faces are somewhat similar. And these are one of the laziest, not thought put into as all back design. It's just a black back design with this colored border around it. It's so dumb, and it just looks dumb, and I just don't like it at all. And then the faces, they're even more, now at least they have the same background, but now it's just an 8 with a heart in the corner, a 3 with a heart in the corner, 8 with a club in the corner, 5 with a spade in the corner. Okay, and it just goes like that throughout the entire deck. So it's a pretty dumb, simplistic design. If I were to choose a deck to perform with, I would choose the white ones before I choose the black ones. But the nice thing about the black ones is that the back design is so simple. It is also a one-way design, so that this is the only thing I would love to do with this deck, is that I would use a one-way back design trick where I give them a card, I say, look at it, here it is, and then I drop it back on top. And then I deal through the cards, and then I'd be able to find their selected card because of that one-way back design. And I've done that before, and no one was able to tell because of how simplistic and just boring this back design is. So that would probably be the only thing I would want to do with this deck. as far as Magic goes. Alright, moving on to these next two decks of cards, we have the Anchor playing cards. Now, these are kind of cool cards. I don't really perform with these. The back design is pretty cool. But particularly, I use these cards for an effect where you vanish a deck of cards. It's kind of a cool, easy to figure out gimmick if you're a magician, but not so much if you're a layperson. If you perform it correctly, I don't think I'm going to reveal it simply because it is technically a product. I might teach it someday, but I might perform it too. But I particularly use this deck for that particular trick. And the extra have the same faces as my custom deck of cards, which makes me wonder where exactly these faces come from. So kind of a clue here as to where the Josiah playing cards came from, but it's kind of interesting. So yeah, those are the Anchor playing cards. Now, you're saying, okay, they're the red ones. You think the blue ones are any better? Well, you'd be surprised to find out that the blue ones actually are not blue at all. They're actually still the same exact color, red, which was kind of disappointing to me that they were still the same color. Like, they're literally the exact same thing. The only difference is this one is still in new deck order because I literally haven't done much of anything with this one. So, I'm a little bit disappointed that these ones aren't blue. They're still red, but it's okay. It's not a huge deal. Definitely still a pretty cool deck of cards. Gloss finish, all that stuff. Pretty much all of these here were basically gloss finish except for the Coca-Cola ones. But yeah, Anchor playing cards, they're okay, pretty cool. Not my favorite, but it's okay. Alright, we've gotten through Anchor playing cards. Now time to move into USPCC territory, which is literally everything else in my drawer. So, we're going to start with bicycle cards, which start here and end here. So there's a lot of bicycle cards I have. So I got this brick of bicycle cards at Christmas, as well as some other decks. So I have a whole bunch of unopened red and blue bicycle decks here. But obviously, we just have here a red bicycle deck. This one actually, I don't know why these still have the ad cards. But anyway, not too much to say. Just a regular deck of bicycle cards. Oh yeah, I did a trick with these where you have an unopened deck of cards that reseals itself. I'll show you the deck that is not brand new. I'll show you the one that is right here. It's actually still fairly new as well. Not used that much. But yeah, just bicycle cards. Nothing much to say about them. Definitely a cool deck to do Magic with. As well as the blue ones and the black ones, which I'll show you those in a second. But yeah, pretty cool deck. Yeah, not much to say. They're just bicycle cards. One thing to keep in mind is that a lot of my previous bicycle cards have become gimmicks and things. So I've lost quite a few bicycle cards. If I kept all of them, I would have a lot more playing cards than this. So now we go over here to the blue cards. The blue is probably my favorite color of bicycle cards. This is kind of a little bit more used blue deck, but nothing much to say. Just a cool, nice blue color in addition to regular bicycle faces. Not much. And finally, we also have these really cool black bicycle standard playing cards. You might be saying, well, obviously you can't buy those anymore. Bicycle stopped producing the different colors besides red and blue of standard, and you'd actually be wrong about that. These black, they don't produce they only produce red and blue by themselves. However, in a certain pack of 4 playing cards, Bicycle actually still makes these black standard playing cards, not just the rider backs, which is pretty cool. Because personally, I'm not sure what it is. A lot of people like the rider back box better. I'm not sure what the appeal of that is. I like the standard boxes better. But, you know, I guess it's just a matter of personal taste. As we continue on, I would like to apologize because my mom is now blow drying her hair, so it is kind of early in the morning as I'm filming this, mainly because I want to get lighting good, but if you hear that blow dryer in the background, I'm sorry about that. Not much I can do about that. We'll just have to deal with that for a bit here. Alright, so we've gotten through the bicycle standards. Not much to say about those. Now we move into the capital bicycle playing cards. We have the red and the blue, and we still have, I just realized that I've had this unopened red one for a while since Christmas, and I still haven't opened it yet. So I might open those later. Maybe in the next video I'll open them. I have no idea. But anyway, we have these red capital playing cards. These are pretty cool. These are actually remakes of a deck they made in the 1800s. Same exact deck, same back design and everything. And even if you're not an American, these are pretty cool cards. They're vintage, but they're being remade. The first ones were remade in 2019, which are, I believe those are the blue ones. Yeah, the blue ones were the first ones remade in 2019, and the red ones began being remade in 2020. I'm hoping that Bicycle starts producing the other of the 6 colors that were, of the 8 colors, sorry, that were in this. They have 6 other colors that were in the Capital playing cards, and I'm hoping they'll begin producing the other colors as well as the years go on. But they say these are special edition cards, so you might want to pick them up while they last. But these are really cool playing cards. I'm really loving them. The faces are pretty cool too. I really like these faces. I like the little tiny pips in the corners. And just the general design of the faces, it's just interesting. It's unique, but it's not. And the Ace of Spades is pretty cool. I mean, look at that. I mean, who wouldn't love an Ace of Spades that looks like that? So yeah, these cards are pretty cool. I really like them. And the Jokers are just the Capitol building. Yeah, this is just a really cool deck of cards that I'm really loving. So yeah, that's that. As we were looking at those cards, I'm also going to show you the blue ones as well. I only have one of the blue ones, and it's an open one. And here are the blue ones. It's just the same design and everything, but blue back design. The image that was just up on screen, if I got it up on screen, was an image of my card mat when I first got it. And I actually, when I first got it, the first deck of cards I used on it was this deck. So that's kind of just a fun fact for you. Probably not so fun for you, but it is fun for me. Alright, moving on, down memory lane still. A lot of these decks come with memories, I just realized that. But anyway, I have the Bicycle Parquet, I'm not sure to pronounce it, deck. And I just figured out today, parquet means like it's kind of like a grid tile pattern on floors. And that would explain why they call it that, because it's very much a tile-ish pattern. If you look at these cards, these are the red/purple ones, whatever you want to call it. I prefer to call them red, but I guess they're really more purple. But these are just this is the back design of those, and then here's the face design. It kind of reminds me of like vintage cards because it's like this pinkish, orangish color, and then it has this black. They're mainly standard Bicycle faces for the most part, just recolored. Even down to like the Jokers and everything. They're just recolored to match this deck a bit more. I believe, I don't remember what the Ace of Spades looks like. I gotta find that. Yeah, it's mainly just a Bicycle Ace of Spades that's been modified. It's been recolored, and they add the parquet there. So yeah, it is a pretty cool deck of cards that I really honestly would recommend to anyone who wants a deck of cards. It's pretty cool because I honestly enjoyed this deck of cards when I was using it. I don't use it so much anymore, but I do honestly love these playing cards. But the ones I prefer more are these blue ones. It's almost like an aqua blue one. This one's been through a bit more use because I used it a lot more on my camping trip. But you can see it's almost like an aqua, like marine sort of feel to it. I'm not sure how, but that's just kind of how it felt to me. And I like these ones a lot too. I like both a lot, but I like these ones more. I'm not sure why I like these cards so much. I guess I just kind of, it might just be the memories that both of these decks contain for me. But just a pretty cool deck of cards overall that I would honestly love for anyone to have in their collection. Alright, so let's continue on. So the next thing in my deck collection are these Stargazer Sunspot playing cards. Now I have an older one. I'll be showing you the newer one. They're the exact same thing. One's just older than the other. So these are a second, kind of like a second version of these Stargazer playing cards. And it's just literally a sun in the back design. It is a two-way back design, interestingly enough. But it's a really beautiful design to just fan out. I think because of how simplistic and the way the colors flow, it's just a pretty design when you fan it out like that. It also looks really cool to string the cards and dribble them because you get that nice string of like just this sun on the back. I think it's just kind of a cool thing to do. So this is a pretty cool deck for anyone who's kind of interested in space and stuff, because I'm kind of interested in space stuff as well. So it's just kind of a fun deck for that. And I really like this. I got this, I think this is one of the first decks I got like from a store, which is interestingly enough. But anyway, the faces are pretty cool. You can see here they have this starry background. You probably can't see it well on camera, but if you saw these up close in person, sorry, my brothers are playing a video game again, so Sorry if you hear the screaming again. I can't do much about that at this point. You can see they have a starry background, and you can see that's just kind of a cool back design because the club has like the star stuff in it. Just kind of a cool deck of cards. I really honestly enjoy it a lot. I don't perform with it so much as I used to, but it is a really cool deck of cards. Definitely recommend this one. Next up, we have the deck of cards that is kind of infamous in the Magic community, the Bicycle Dragon backs. I only have the red ones. But this is honestly a really cool deck of cards. Okay, don't just think it's like a cliche that people are always telling you. It really honestly is a really cool deck of cards. You can see this back design is just really cool. The faces are even cooler. They have this red, and then they have this kind of cool greenish thing going. They're just honestly cool cards. And they do come with a double backer, which is really, really cool. So it is honestly a really cool deck of cards if you are interested in pretty cool decks of cards. It's a fun collector's item, and you know, maybe you like dragons or whatever. This is also a cool deck of cards. Really would recommend it to any playing card collector, and it works well for magicians as well. It's really a really great all-around deck. Definitely in my top 5 somewhere. Alright, so as I get into the next one, I am realizing I did go pretty slow at the beginning. I'm kind of going quicker now, mostly because I don't have a lot to say about these ones. I'm just saying I enjoy them. Moving on, and also I want to make this video kind of shorter when I shorten it down. So moving on to this next one, we have these Bicycle Crimson Foil Back Metalux playing cards. These are really cool because check this out. They have an embossed box and all that, but the back design literally shines. Like, how cool is that? It's literally printed with like a metal ink, so it actually has a texture, which is really, really cool. And it's just a shiny back design, which, I mean, if a back design is completely shiny, I mean, how great is that? It's just a regular bicycle back design, red, but it's shiny, which is pretty cool. And this one, it did not come with a double backer. I did make one for it, though. And then this one comes with the faces. It uses the same red, but not metal. It has this kind of cool color scheme going with the face cards. It's just a really cool deck. Standard bicycle Ace of Spades, though. For the most part, aside from a little bit of a color difference, they're mostly just standard bicycle cards. But yeah, this is a really cool deck of cards. I honestly like this a lot. I'll leave a link up on screen to the video where I use this cards, because in that video I taught 2 really cool tricks, and I also covered the well-needed art of misdirection for Magic. So definitely would recommend these cards. Alright, moving on to the next one, we have the Purple Majesty playing cards. Fun fact about this and the Metalux playing cards, I actually got those at, I believe it was a Walgreens, maybe? It was a Walgreens. And my mom she was shopping for some kind of church stuff or whatever, and she found all these crazy, like, playing cards, including Theory 11 cards at a Walgreens. And so I ended up getting these 2 decks while I was there. Hopefully they still have them, because I'll go back and get more if I can. I believe this deck here, these came with a double backer as well, but yeah. This is really cool. This one also has kind of a gold foil, which I always like that. This back design is pretty decently cool. I kind of like it. But yeah, I really enjoy it. The faces are kind of interesting as well. You can see here, they look kind of luxury and vintage almost, I guess is how I would describe it. They're just kind of cool faces, I think, anyway. Yeah, and I just dropped it. But I think, let me see, I believe it comes with, for the most part, standard bicycle jokers, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm mistaken. I thought this one had 2 matching jokers, but it does not. But it is a pretty cool deck of cards that I would really recommend to anyone. So yeah, pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, next up, we have gotten out of all the bicycle cards. We've cleared all of those out of the way. We're still in USPCC territory as well, though, because we now have the Mint playing cards by 52 cards. This is, between this and like the Monarchs deck, I'm pretty sure those are my 2 favorite decks of cards, and they have been pretty much since I got both decks. So I have both versions. These are the 2nd edition. I have the Cucumber, which this is pretty beat up and banged up as well, almost as much as the green deck. But once again, this one's also in really great shape considering its age. These are also marked a little bit, but I really like this Cucumber color. Eventually I'll get another one of these, but it's pretty cool. That's the cucumber one. I'm going to show you the blueberry one because I like that one a lot better because it's a lot less banged up. So you can see here, what's really cool about these cards is that the inside of the box, I only have a couple decks like this. They have stuff going inside, patterns inside the box, which is really, really cool. But anyway, you can see here it has this cool mint pattern. They are marked cards. This one is actually, oh, I forgot. This one, I actually put this one in new deck order because you can see there's the Ace of Spades. They're just really cool cards, custom cards. I really enjoy them a lot. Yeah, I would definitely recommend the mint cards. I can't tell you how much I love these enough. If you have the opportunity to get mint cards, please get them because these are fantastic cards. In fact, when I first ordered mint cards, they actually came with a sticker, like a mint sticker that I actually, like a vinyl sticker that I actually put on my computer. So definitely would recommend mint cards wholeheartedly by 52 Cards. Next we have the Fort Knock playing cards by Alex Pandrea. And these are really cool cards. The box is really cool. It's just basically, it's basically meant to be like a brick of gold. And the back design is just a gold foil embossed, well, not embossed, just foil back. It's just a simplistic design, and I don't necessarily consider this lazy because really the idea of this card design was to make it feel like a deck of cards that was a lot like a bicycle deck, but it would be kind of interesting as well. So that's why I really accept that. It's not necessarily a lazy design. There definitely was a lot more thought put into it, a lot more theory, and a story as well, but the actual design itself was not the focus, super huge focus of the deck. So mainly the cards are just bicycle standard, except for we have a different Ace of Spades, and then you have those star jokers. They're just jokers that have stars on them. They're the exact same. So pretty cool. This does come with a blank card as well as a duplicate Queen of Hearts. So yeah, it's a pretty cool deck of cards. So we have that. We also have the purple Knock original playing cards. Same thing, just this time it's purple instead of gold. Faces are the same as well, but I really like both of these decks of cards. Definitely in my top 5 somewhere. Alright, now we get into Theory 11 territory. We're going to begin with the Star Wars playing cards, which obviously I'm going to be comparing these to the other in a second. But first we have the original, the OG Star Wars playing cards. These are thin crushed stock. But this is the dark side version of the originals, the red. It's pretty cool. This is definitely a really cool Star Wars deck because this satisfies both playing card needs and Star Wars needs. So that's why I like it so much, because this is a really cool back design, but it also has a lot of Star Wars stuff in it. And the faces are cool too, because like they're all different Star Wars characters. Like the Jack of Clubs is Kylo Ren, Jack of Hearts is Han Solo, and you got all these cool card design. So it's a really cool custom deck of cards. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is willing to get it. Alright, so next we have the OG Blue Light Side Edition. It's the same thing as the red, same faces and design, and same design and everything for the most part, but it's just blue instead. And one thing you might notice about the boxes is that the boxes on both are different. There are a few subtle differences, like this one has X-Wing, this one has, you know, sorry, I blanked out there, an Imperial Star Destroyer, a TIE Fighter, that kind of stuff. There's a Y-Wing there. And then the back design has a few subtle differences as well, like this one, it's a Death Star, and then you got this starry background. This one is in light speed with R2-D2. So just a few subtle differences in the design of the cards as well. And mainly, the main difference that you can see clearly is that this one's red, this one's blue, which is pretty cool. And there are also some different things like luminous beings we are on the sides. I will focus more on these Star Wars playing cards once we get to the review section. And then we also have these dark side silver edition. I do not have the light side ones yet, but it's kind of like a blackish gray color. And it's basically the same thing, same face designs, but the back design, but it's kind of but the box is kind of a silver thing. It's a really nice, kind of almost like a nicer box. And it's just a really cool different rendition of the light. I believe these are the dark side, so it's just another rendition of the dark side versions. Alright, now that we got through that, we're going to move on to these Hudson playing cards that I used in my most recent tutorial. This is another deck that has that design going on the inside. Personally, I enjoy this deck. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do because it's actually like a light bluish gray like foil on the back, which is really cool. So it's just a kind of cool feel. The back design is really cool and intricate. I just enjoy this way too much. I'm not sure why. But yeah, this is just another really cool deck of cards for any collection. And then the faces are pretty cool too. Like here's the Joker, and then the faces are mostly the same as the Monarchs cards, which I'm going to show you those in a second. Except for, and they have these, it's just like on the Monarchs cards, they have these gold, like foil, instead of like the yellow on the cards, face cards and stuff. So it's just really cool. And the Ace of Spades is really cool. The Ace of Spades is really cool and intricate. So just a really cool deck of cards for anyone. Alright, race to the finish line. Still, we have the green national playing cards. These are pretty cool. Once again, another one of these things going on the inside here. And by the way, I love Theory 11. Theory 11 is probably my favorite company that produces playing cards. Really love their playing cards. So here is the green national playing cards. You can see here's the back design. Kind of an interesting back design, two-way back design. You can see here, one thing I didn't really notice until I got the deck is that actually it's all the suits in one of these little circles, because you can see there's a club overlaid with a spade and a heart and a diamond, and all those suits are all overlaid on one corner here. One thing I really enjoy it, and another thing I like is that it's kind of custom interesting because all of the pips are like really small, but they're also foil. There's also foil on them, like silver foil, which kind of makes it interesting, and then the faces are really interesting. It just looks almost like, I guess, like a strange, not really regular deck. And one thing you'll notice is that it almost looks like all the designs are hand-drawn. I'm not sure if that's meant to be on purpose or if that was actually hand-drawn. But then you got your Jokers, the Ace of Spades is like this eye. It's really cool. So yeah, another really cool deck for anyone who's into magic or card collecting or anything. And finally, last but not least, we have our Monarchs playing cards. I have the blue edition here. I'll just show you the blue edition. It's a blue color. You can see here it has this really cool tree with the branches, and it's really cool. The faces are mostly, aside from the Jokers and the Ace of Spades, which I'll show you that, are mostly the same as the Hudson playing card faces. I mentioned that earlier. But yeah, here's the Ace of Spades. You can see it here, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of gold foil in this deck. It's just a nice, luxurious, really like nice and luxurious like deck that I really love to have in my collection. It's probably between that and my mint cards, these are always competing with each other for me, for my favorite deck. I also have the green Monarchs here. This is the newer one that I have. I have the older one here. But these are interesting because they're different from the other Monarchs because they're almost like a thicker box. They feel nicer. It just feels nicer than all the other Monarchs. The only one that I can compare with is the red, and really there's a big difference between the red one and really the green one is thicker, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's just the same thing, same faces. It's just that the back design is this cool kind of green color, which is pretty cool. And finally, we also have our purple Monarchs here. This is probably my favorite of all the Monarchs. I just love this purple color. I really love the color purple on playing cards. I think it just looks like a nice color, especially when you choose the right color for the playing cards. Shade of purple, I guess is what I was trying to say there. But yeah, same thing as the green, same faces and everything. Just has this kind of cool purple design on them. Pretty cool deck of cards. And we also have our red Monarchs, which these are interesting because they have this red inside and stuff, and they feel more interesting. The two boxes that are kind of interesting is that the red and the green boxes, they're both kind of different, but they feel a lot more different than just the red and the blue and the purple, which is interesting. And I really love this red color. This shade of red is just so full and kind of lush, and I really just like that. Lush and full. I'm not sure exactly, I guess that's how you describe it. Really, it's just kind of like a full nice color that really looks beautiful on these cards. I really love it. I think purple is probably my favorite color on the Monarchs, and then red is my second favorite. I just love the red color as well. Here we are. The moment I've been waiting all week for. I'm finally going to open the Mandalorian playing cards. Let's clear off some of this packing peanuts, though. Alright, so I have cleaned up the packing peanuts by scattering them all over the floor. Let's take a closer look at a few of these Star Wars decks, just to give us some comparison when we open the Mandalorian playing cards. First off, on each of them, obviously they have the Theory 11 on the bottom. On the sides, the dark side one says, "Now I am the Master." The side of this one says the power of the dark side as well. And then the light side one, the OG, says, "May the Force be with you." The other one says, "Luminous beings are we." And then this one also says, the dark side, silver edition says, "Now I am the Master," and the power of the dark side. So just some kind of cool stuff I mentioned. On both dark side ones, we have this sticker, rounded sticker with the Imperial/First Order sort of logo on it. This one has like the Rebellion logo. So yeah, let's just open up the Mandalorian playing cards and see what is inside. So I tossed the actual box package down there, and yeah, we'll leave these here for reference, and we'll get into this one. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to get the styrofoam off, and we'll take a look at the actual cards. It already feels, it feels amazing to actually hold it. So one thing I'm noticing is the front says Star Wars. It's kind of different from these because this one has the front of it was almost like on the wrong side. This one is on the right side, which I enjoy that a lot. And you can see it says Star Wars, the Mandalorian playing cards. It says Theory 11 down here. It has this kind of cool design on it. It says "This is the way." It is, just like all Theory 11 decks, heavily embossed. It has this nice red and silver foiling on it, which is really nice. It feels like a really nice box. The side of it says Mandalorian, pictures of, let's see, there's the Mandalorian there. Let's see, who's that? I don't remember who that is. And then there's Grogu / Baby Yoda. And then there's the robot, bounty hunter robot that was in the beginning of the show. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Looking at this back of the box, I'm assuming this is what the back design is going to look like roughly. And it looks really cool. Like it has this Mandalorian here. It has Grogu's pod here. It has the Mandalorian symbols. It has all these different things in it, and in the middle, I think it says "This is the way" in the middle of the whole thing. So it's just really cool. There's once again a rounded sticker. It looks like it's a little bit smaller than these, but it's silver, and it just says Mandalorian on it, Theory 11. It has Baby Yoda on it, obviously. But yeah, let's open it up. Alright, we got it to open. I was almost scared I would break it, but... Okay, so already we're seeing the Mandalorian ship. Forget what it's called. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, we also have that red foiling embossing on the inside. And we have Mandalorian symbols. And now that we get inside, one thing we're already seeing on the inside is we have this kind of interesting pattern on the inside, which is really cool. It has a texture to it as well. That's weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it has almost like a texture to it. I guess we'll just have to get it to see for yourself. But that is... the box. And taking a look at the cards, here are the faces, the Jokers. Very cool. You can see we have a Tusken Raider and a Jawa. And you can see it's just kind of a basic font here, which is kind of interesting. The Ace of Spades obviously has a Grogu on it, 2 of Spades, and you can see this is what the design looks like. Looking at the Jack of Spades, it is a Death Trooper. This one's another Stormtrooper, and this is that general from the show who was trying to take Grogu. Then we have the Ace of Diamonds, which also has a person design on it, which is interesting, and I like that. There's the guy they freed. I forgot all their names at this point. It's been a while since I watched the last episode of the show. Okay, my throat is clear now. So you can see here we have the bounty hunter lady who died but was revived by Boba Fett. I'm not sure. I can't remember anyone's names right now. I did it during the show, but now I'm just forgetting. I need to watch it again. We have the bounty hunter droid here. We have the actual, I believe that's Boba Fett here. There's the lady kind of in charge of all the stuff. Actually, this might be Boba Fett, and this might be the Mandalorian. I believe this is the actual Mandalorian, and then this is Boba Fett. Might be wrong about that, though. No, this is the Mandalorian. This is another Mandalorian, his friend. This is the Mandalorian from the show. That's the general lady from the Republic. That's his friend person. If you haven't watched the show, you have no idea who I'm talking about, but I know I'm kind of rambling. There's him, the old little guy. And then we have these 2 ad cards. And the first one says, Theory 11 produces the world's finest playing cards, the ultimate high-end luxury playing cards. And the other one says, This is the way, which I like. And now, the back design. Oh, wow. That's a turn. So because of all the red, I was expecting it to be red, but I guess it's more like a grayish black color. It looks like it's the same overall design, just with not all that red, which I almost like that a little bit better than the red, which I feel like it might be a tiny bit disappointing, but I think it's not bad. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. It's really cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think, let's see, I think it might be thicker stock than these Star Wars playing cards, possibly. I think it might be regular bicycle stock. I'll have to check into that. But I believe it's regular bicycle stock. It doesn't feel like the thin stock those have. But yeah, it's really cool. Nice, thin border. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It handles pretty well right out of the box. And I'm honestly enjoying the design of it. I feel like this is pretty cool. I feel like they did justice to the Mandalorian, and I feel like the back design and the face design and just the general feel of the deck matches what the Mandalorian, the show, feel was. So I really feel like this is has come along really well. Alright, so now that we've gotten through some of the breaking into the deck, it feels like it's a really well-handling deck. And I think it actually might be that thin stock again. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever it is, it feels good. The finish is great. I think it's just a really overall great deck of cards. Comparing it to the others, I will say that I feel like this is a nice justice to the overall Star Wars collection of Theory 11. And they produced like 4 Star Wars decks of cards now, so I think this is a nice way, and I feel like they did a good job with keeping the theme, kind of the same sort of feel and theme that we had with these decks, but with this new Mandalorian deck. So there you have it. Add cards down for a second. You can see right here we have all 4 Star Wars playing card decks of cards. Really glad to have all of them in my collection. The only thing I have left to get is the light side special silver edition deck of cards, which I will hopefully get soon. Alright, so that's it. Let's just get to the outro. Alright, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. The mess that was left on my floor right now after the video, hopefully it was worth it. I think it'll be worth it because I really liked this video. Hope you did too, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.